I will say that I think sometimes guys, especially my age, like 30 and up, will entertain younger women because I think women in their 20s have this energy about them where they actually it feels like they actually like guys. Like it feels like when they see guys like that are good looking to them, like they're actually excited. They get giddy and like they want to be girly around you and like they're happy to be around guys. Whereas like women older, like in the 30s and 40s, tend to like be more skeptical of guys. Like their attitude is more like, I might like you. You could be like, I could mess with you, maybe, prove yourself. And I think that sometimes dudes just don't want to deal with all that pressure. Sometimes it's fun to just go to the bar and girls just smiling and flirting with you just to have fun, not because not with a mentality of, well, you better have something really important to say to me or else you're wasting my time because my clock is ticking. I'm ready to have kids and a family. It's like these girls are not looking for anything serious as soon as they meet you. They literally just want to have fun. They just want to have a good time. And that's refreshing sometimes, especially when you done worked your ass off to get somewhere. And now you're like, okay, I done earned my bag. I got a little money. I can come outside and play. I want to play with the people that want to have fun. I don't want to play with the people that want to sit all stitch in the corner. And
I support that.
One other thing too, Clout, is that when you have something to actually share, we were just talking about travel. We were talking about traveling, people taking trips and stuff like that. When you're someone who has been to places and has been in different kind of spaces, and you have a certain network of people around you, a certain aura, or how I like to say, a certain je ne sais quoi about you, or how you carry yourself, that shows. Your personality and your aura shows up 5 minutes before you physically walk through the door, and it could tell. I know that because I've done it and I've seen it and I witnessed it. There's a certain demeanor about you, how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you articulate yourself, and also how good are you with women and how you handle women, especially in conversations, right? They pick up on that. They see that. You have a conversation with one woman, next thing you know, the whole group of women, you're like, yo, come over here, have a drink. Next thing you know, the whole place is surrounded around just telling stories, sharing stories about traveling trips, anything that you've been up to, because you've lived life. You have something to talk about, something to share, and that's exciting, right? Unfortunately, a certain cloth of men do not have that kind of level of life experience. They're still trying to get there, and they will get there. Some might not, but when you done that, you're received so differently than everybody else.
I agree. And I think that men, I think one of the, yes, Kelly, that. But then another thing is we are women 30 plus, especially 35 plus and 40. We come from an era where we're used to being approached. And I think now men have gotten very comfortable with being approached by these younger women for fun. You know what I mean? Like nobody's really approaching anybody with any serious intent. And so we still waiting because I'm not gonna run up and sweat no man. The younger generation is definitely way more shameless. Not that we sitting up judging them about it. It's just not the way we move. It's like I still believe in courtship. Yes, I want to go on a date. Yes, I want you to plan it. You don't necessarily have to pick me up, but I want you to make sure I get home safe. You know what I mean? Like there's this um, type of guy that I grew up valuing. I think men of all ages are kind of reeling back from because it's so much easier to just date. She's younger, she's fun, she don't expect too much from me. Like, yeah, so you want to do all the things except mature into a mature man. Meanwhile, women are just naturally doing that because we're whether we have children or husbands, like we have to become these much more adults big time, right? And I think men have the luxury of not having to do that and still be approached and still can make kids and do whatever they want.
Clout, if
all
I
right.
may, just for 1 second, I just want to ask one question. With the whole men approaching, I don't disagree with you. I still push that men approach, right? But for men to approach, also, like there has to be cues and signals. I think you have to parlay with me. Women do a poor job of sending the right signals, right, of interest.
Yes.
You see him, he sees you, you find him attractive, you want him to approach, but yet you're sending mixed signals and he wants to also approach, but you're also around two or three of your other friends. And it's you're trying to navigate that dynamic. And some guys have that sort of level of confidence that is just beyond. And there are some who are there, but they're trying to make sure that they don't go over there and embarrass themselves or put
Yeah.
themselves in a compromising
Right.
situation. So I think sending choosing signals is very, very key. You know, it's not so much about the men not approaching, but also sending the right choosing signal.
I agree, and I see that in women a lot too. As a woman, because I'm like a grade A flirt. We gonna have the time, and you gonna come over here for sure. I don't have the complaint of men not approaching, but I do, but I do see women with this air about themselves that make them seem unapproachable. I don't know where along the line, like, we
Mhm.
thought attitude was cute, but like a lot of people have like that's their personality, and they
Mhm.
want a man to fight through that in order to get to connect with them, and they whack for that for sure. And I think that is also part of the reason why some men are discouraged from approaching women, older women too. Unfortunately, they're not all as cool as Kelly and I.
I was just gonna
Okay,
say,
so
I think
go
playing
ahead.
hard to get. I think playing hard to get, essentially, which was big in the '90s, women playing hard to get. I think that's what killed men approaching. I think that eventually, also with the internet, I think more men have access to game, and I think this is a big thing, right? Like in the past, the only way you could get some game is if your uncle or your daddy or somebody you knew was that guy and he could put you onto the game. And that's the only way you got some game. You had to watch, or you had to just have it in you. Now there's so many resources for men to learn about female nature that men have started noticing and understanding that, you know what, when I approach, I'm not getting the same results as when I attract. And so because men are becoming more aware of female nature, men are not even telling each other, like I actually have to question in my mind right now if I would tell my son to approach and chase women, because even in my own personal life, my success with women has always been, the women that have made themselves available for me are always the ones that I've had a better relationship with. It's always been more successful. The women that I've like chased after because I've wanted them that bad, it never goes the way I want. It's usually the women that are have a little bit more interest in me that I find that the relationship goes well. And I think that that's an experience for a lot of men, not just me. I think once they start having that experience and they do experience the joys of being approached by a woman, and they do experience the joys of being chased by a woman, and once they get to that status in life, it's very hard to go back to being the guy that's like, yo, hey, let me get your number, let me buy you a drink. When you become the guy that walks in the club and makes eye contact, says a couple words, and she leaves with you. You get what I'm saying? It's like a different, also results make a difference, right? If I'm catching more flies with the honey, I'm gonna use the honey. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm gonna use. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but
I'm not.
if you can catch, you want to catch bees or flies? You want to catch bees that can make more honey
Well,
and
you
keep
get
the
what I'm
shit
saying.
popping,
Flies,
or we
bees,
talking about
flies,
fly? Because
bees,
that's the type of
flies,
woman that's
bees.
gonna
It's all
chase a
semantics.
man.
Listen,
I think
flies,
you
bees is
to be
all. It's all
careful.
semantics.